moment you realize it's not a flaw, it's your superpower. Welcome to Jung's Psyche Hub, where we're diving into the 7 surprising signs you might be an intuitive introvert, an INFJ or INTJ through the visionary lens of Carl Jung himself. Inspired by Jung's groundbreaking work on introverted intuition, we'll uncover how your quiet depth, your need for solitude, and your uncanny ability to decode the world set you apart in the most profound way. Through real stories and practical steps, you'll discover why you've always felt different and how to embrace it fully. Which of these signs will resonate with you most? Stick around to find out, and let's unlock the hidden power of your intuitive mind together. Sign 1. You decode the world like a silent oracle. Have you ever walked into a room and instantly felt the unspoken tension like a wave crashing over you? That's the first sign you might be an intuitive introvert. You don't just see the placid world, you decode it like a silent oracle. INFJs and INTJs share a rare gift Carl Jung called introverted intuition, a deep, unconscious ability to spot patterns and truths others miss entirely. You notice the micro shifts, a forced smile hiding anxiety, a subtle shift in tone, revealing a lie. It's not magic, it's your mind working like a radar, connecting dots that don't even seem related on the surface. Take Sarah, an INFJ, who sensed her colleague's stress during a meeting no one else noticed. But she felt it and later checked in, uncovering a hidden struggle. Or James, an INTJ, who predicted a project's failure months before it happened. Simply by reading the team's dynamics, you're not overthinking, you're seeing the unseen. Just as Carl Jung described, intuition gives outlook and insight. It revels in the garden of magical possibilities. So, how can you harness this gift? Start a daily intuition journal. Write down the subtle signals you pick up, those gut feelings or hunches, and see how often they're right. Over time, you'll trust your inner radar more. Do you often sense things others don't? Let's explore the next sign to see if solitude feels like your sanctuary. Sign 2. Solitude is your sacred space. Do you ever feel like the world is moving too fast, like everyone's chasing noise while you're craving stillness? That's the second sign. You might be an intuitive introvert. Solitude isn't just a preference for you. It's your sacred space. INFJs and INTJs don't just tolerate being alone, they thrive in it, because that's where they reconnect with their deepest selves. Carl Jung understood this deeply. Writing. The introvert is turned toward the inner world, concerned with the inner psychic processes. For you, solitude isn't loneliness. It's a sanctuary, a place where your mind can wander freely, where your soul can breathe, and where you can hear your own truth without the world's distractions. While others seek validation in crowded rooms, you find clarity in quiet moments. Take Emily, an INFJ, who turned down a lively party to spend her evening walking alone at sunset. Feeling the colors of the sky speak to her in ways people never could. Or Michael, an INTJ, who spends his weekends in his study, diving into books on philosophy, not because he's antisocial, but because those hours alone let him map out his vision for the future. You're not running from connection, you're selective about it. You'd rather have one meaningful conversation than a dozen shallow ones. And if depth isn't on the table, you're perfectly fine walking away unapologetically. This craving for solitude often makes you feel like an old soul in a fast world. You don't care about going viral or keeping up with trends. You care about meaning, about vibrations that resonate with your core. Carl Jung believed intuitive introverts are deeply connected to the collective unconscious, a timeless pool of wisdom that makes you feel like you belong to something ancient, something truer than today's noise. That's why you'd rather sit with a cracked old book or watch a sunset no one else notices than scroll through a feed that feels hollow. So, how can you embrace this need for solitude? Create a daily ritual of quiet time, even just 15 minutes to reconnect with yourself. Maybe it's a morning coffee in silence, a walk without your phone, or a few moments of deep breathing before bed. Let that time be yours. A space to reflect and recharge. Solitude isn't your weakness, it's your strength. A sacred weapon that lets you hear your inner voice above the chaos. Does solitude feel like your safe haven? A place where you truly find yourself? Stay with us as we uncover the next sign of your intuitive introvert nature. Sign 3. You're an empath INFJ or a strategist INTJ. Have you ever walked into a space and felt a wave of emotions that weren't yours? Like someone's pain was seeping into your chest. Or maybe you've solved a complex problem with a clarity that left everyone around you in awe. That's the third sign you might be. An intuitive introvert INFJs are empaths who feel deeply, while INTJs are strategists who think with razor-sharp precision. Carl Jung described this balance as the functional axis, where introverted intuition pairs with either feeling or thinking to create a heightened perception of the world. This unique gift sets INFJs and INTJs apart, allowing them to navigate life in ways others can't even imagine. INFJs often absorb emotions like a sponge, picking up on the unspoken struggles of those around them. They don't just hear words, they feel the energy behind them, sensing sadness, tension, or joy before it's even expressed. Meanwhile, INTJs approach the world like chess grandmasters, analyzing situations with a strategic mind that sees 5 steps ahead. They don't just react, they design outcomes, crafting solutions with a precision that feels almost uncanny. Carl Jung believed this duality makes INFJs and INTJs natural leaders, guiding others through either heartfelt compassion or calculated clarity, depending on their type. Let's look at Lisa, an INFJ, who was at a cafe with a friend. Before her friend even said a word, Lisa felt a heaviness in the air. She sensed their sadness and gently asked, "Are you okay?" Her friend broke down, grateful to be seen, and later said Lisa's words felt like a lifeline. On the other hand, there's Alex, an INTJ, who noticed a critical flaw in his company's project plan during a meeting. While his team debated endlessly, Alex quietly mapped out a solution in his mind, presenting a strategy that saved the project from failure. His colleagues were stunned by his foresight. But for Alex, it was just another day of seeing what others couldn't. This ability, whether through empathy or strategy, means you don't just experience life, you transform it. You're not here to follow the crowd, you're here to guide it, often without even realizing the impact you have. But this gift can be overwhelming. INFJs might feel drained after absorbing too many emotions, while INTJs can come across as cold if they prioritize logic over feelings. So, how can you balance this strength? For INFJs, practice setting emotional boundaries. Visualize a protective shield around yourself during intense interactions to guard your energy. For INTJs, take a moment to consider others' emotions before acting. A little empathy can make your strategies even more effective. Do you find yourself feeling others' emotions as if they're your own, or solving problems with a clarity others can't match? Let's dive into the next sign to see if your quiet energy has a magnetic pull that draws people in. Sign 4. Your energy is quiet but magnetic. Do you ever notice how people are drawn to you, even when you're not trying to stand out? That's the 4th sign. You might be an intuitive introvert. Your energy is quiet but undeniably magnetic. INFJs and INTJs don't need to be the loudest voice in the room to make an impact. Their presence alone speaks volumes. Carl Jung would call this the power of the individuated self, a rare harmony that comes from facing your inner shadows, embracing your light, and aligning all parts of who you are. When you've done that inner work, your energy radiates a calm, grounded strength that others can't help but feel. You don't shout for attention, yet people notice you. You don't perform, yet people trust you. There's a stillness in you, a quiet conviction that feels safe to some and unsettling to others. Take Maya, an INFJ, who sat quietly at a friend's gathering. She barely spoke, but later, a stranger approached her, saying, "I don't know why, but I felt like I could tell you anything." Maya's calm presence made them feel seen without her saying a word. Then there's Ethan, an INTJ, who led a team meeting without raising his voice. His steady gaze and thoughtful words commanded respect, and his team left feeling inspired. Not because he demanded it, but because his authenticity was magnetic. This quiet power often makes you a safe haven for others. People share their secrets with you, not because you ask, but because your energy feels like a sanctuary, a place where they can be real without judgment. Carl Jung believed this magnetism comes from integration. When you faced your darkness and owned your light, you become a mirror for others. Some see peace in you, others see what they're avoiding. But either way, they feel you. You don't need to prove yourself, because you know who you are, and that certainty is what draws people in. To nurture this magnetic energy, practice staying grounded in your authenticity. Spend a few minutes each day affirming your worth, maybe through journaling or a quiet meditation where you remind yourself, "I am enough as I am." This helps you stay centered, even when others project their insecurities onto you. Your quiet strength isn't about being perfect, it's about being real. And in a world full of facades, that's what makes you magnetic. Do you ever feel like your presence impacts others more than your words? Let's explore the next sign to see if purpose drives you more than popularity ever could. Sign 5. You seek purpose, not popularity. Have you ever felt a quiet fire inside you, a longing for something deeper than likes, followers, or fleeting fame? That's the 5th sign you might be an intuitive introvert. You seek purpose, not popularity. INFJs and INTJs aren't here to chase the spotlight. They're driven by a vision that burns brighter than any applause. Carl Jung described this as part of the individuation process, the sacred journey of becoming your truest self, where meaning and impact outweigh superficial success. For you, life isn't about going viral. It's about creating a legacy that resonates with your soul's deepest calling. You've never been impressed by shallow trends or the race for validation. While others chase blue checkmarks or the latest influencer title, you're searching for something that truly matters, a spark that changes lives, a resonance that shifts hearts. Take Clara, an INFJ, who volunteers at a local shelter every weekend. She doesn't post about it online or seek praise. She does it because bringing comfort to those in need fills her with a sense of purpose she can't find in social media likes. Then there's David, an INTJ, who turned down a high-paying corporate job to start a small non-profit focused on sustainable energy. He knew it wouldn't make him famous, but it aligned with his vision of leaving the world better than he found it. This drive for purpose often makes you feel like you're meant for something bigger, even if you can't fully name it yet. INFJs long to heal and inspire, leaving people better than they were before. INTJs aim to build systems and ideas that last, creating impact that echoes beyond their lifetime. Carl Jung believed this pursuit of meaning is what sets intuitive introverts apart. You move from vision, not ego. You'd rather have one conversation that shifts someone's perspective than 1,000 interactions that feel empty. That quiet fire in your chest, it's your compass, guiding you toward a mission that's uniquely yours. To honor this drive, take time to define what purpose means to you. Journal about the causes or dreams that light you up. Maybe it's mentoring others, creating art, or solving a problem in your community. Then, take one small step toward it this week. like signing up for a course or volunteering for a cause you care about. Purpose doesn't need to be grand. It just needs to feel true. Do you feel that quiet longing for meaning over fleeting fame? Let's uncover the next sign to see if you've faced your inner shadows without flinching. Sign 6. You face your shadow without flinching. Have you ever looked into the parts of yourself you were told to hide the fears, the shame, the pain, and instead of running, you stayed? That's the 6th sign. You might be an intuitive introvert. You face your shadow without flinching. Carl Jung taught that the shadow, the hidden, often darker parts of our psyche, isn't something to fear but to integrate. For INFJs and INTJs, this process is a sacred journey toward wholeness, a testament to their courage to confront what most people spend their lives avoiding. You don't shy away from your inner storms. You walk through them, determined to understand and heal. This isn't about perfection, it's about honesty. You've sat with the anger you never expressed, the sadness you buried, the guilt that lingered in silence. Instead of numbing it with distractions, you've asked, "What do you need from me?" Take Rachel, an INFJ, who after years of feeling unworthy, finally faced her fear of rejection. She wrote letters to her younger self, forgiving the parts she once hated, and found a new sense of peace that transformed how she showed up in relationships. Or consider Tom, an INTJ, who recognized his tendency to control everything stemmed from a fear of failure. He spent months journaling about his insecurities, slowly letting go of perfectionism, and became a more grounded leader at work. Carl Jung said, "One does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious." You've done that. You've turned toward your shadow, not to destroy it, but to embrace it as part of who you are. This takes warrior-level courage, because facing your darkness means feeling the weight of wounds you didn't ask for, the heartbreak you didn't deserve. Yet, through this process, you found clarity. Your calm isn't a mask, it's a hard-earned stillness. Your wisdom isn't borrowed, it's carved from the depths of your own healing. To deepen this journey, to try a shadow work practice each week. Journal about a fear or insecurity that holds you back. Ask it, "Why are you here? What can I learn from you?" This helps you uncover hidden lessons and release old pain. Facing your shadow doesn't mean erasing it. It means integrating it, so you can live as your whole, authentic self. Have you ever confronted a part of yourself you were afraid to face, and found strength on the other side? Let's move to the final sign to see if your imagination shapes your reality in powerful ways. Sign 7. Your imagination shapes your reality. Have you ever lost yourself in a daydream so vivid it felt more real than the world around you? That's the final sign. You might be an intuitive introvert. Your imagination isn't just a pastime. It shapes your reality in powerful ways. INFJs and INTJs don't just dream. They build entire worlds in their minds, using their visions to guide their lives. Carl Jung called this active imagination a practice where the unconscious speaks through symbols and dreams, revealing truths that guide you toward your purpose. For you, imagination is a portal, a sacred space where you create futures, solve problems, and lead quietly but powerfully. You don't just imagine for fun, you imagine with intention. Your inner world is a blueprint, a place where you test ideas, feel conversations before they happen, and map out possibilities others can't see. Take Sophie, an INFJ, who envisioned herself speaking at a mental health conference. She felt every moment in her mind the audience's reactions, her words, and a year later, that vision came true when she was invited to speak. Or think of Nathan, an INTJ, who spent months imagining a new app to help people manage stress. He saw every feature, every user interaction, and turned that mental blueprint into a real product that's now helping thousands. Your visions aren't random. They're prophetic, guiding you, like a compass toward your true path. Carl Jung believed this imaginative power is how intuitive introverts lead through creation, not control. You don't need a stage to influence others. Your ideas, born in the quiet of your mind, ripple out to change the world. Whether you're an INFJ inspiring through emotional depth or an INTJ architecting systems that last, your imagination is your greatest tool. It's where your purpose takes shape, where your quiet leadership shines. Others might call your dreams unrealistic, but you know they're just seeds waiting to grow into reality. To harness this gift, set aside time each week for active imagination. Close your eyes, picture a goal or dream, and let yourself feel it as if it's already real, every detail, every emotion. Then, write down one small step you can take to bring that vision closer. Like researching a skill or reaching out to someone who can help. Your imagination isn't just a playground, it's a workshop for your future. Do you often find your daydreams guiding your actions, turning visions into reality? Stay with us for the outro, where we'll wrap up your journey as an intuitive introvert. So, there you have it. 7 surprising signs that you might be an intuitive introvert. An INFJ or INJ. Seeing the world through Carl Jung's profound lens. From decoding hidden truths to finding sanctuary in solitude. Feeling deeply or strategizing sharply. Radiating quiet magnetism. Chasing purpose over fame. Facing your shadow with courage. And shaping reality with your imagination. You're not just different. You're a rare, powerful force. Carl Jung believed intuitive introverts like you are here to lead, heal, and awaken the world in ways only you can. So, embrace your depth, your stillness, your vision, because the world needs your unique light. If this video resonated with you, hit that like button to honor your journey. It's a small way to celebrate the strength you've carried in silence. Share this with someone who's always felt too different, so they can see their power. 2. Subscribe to Jung Psyche Hub and tap the bell for more insights on self-discovery and growth. We're here to support your journey. In the comments, tell us, are you an INFJ or INTJ? Which sign spoke to you most? Let's connect and grow together. You're not alone, you're extraordinary.